Hello everyone, Hanul here from Cobalt with our first installment in our new Teams webinar guide. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how to use the different registration options and the attendee engagement data in Microsoft Teams for your next webinar. Use these step-by-step instructions to set up your next webinar, and don't forget to subscribe to Cobalt's channel to catch the next videos in this series. I'll be covering webinar promotion and successful follow-up after your webinar. But today, let's look at a real-world Teams webinar setup example. Teams webinars work differently than the regular Teams meetings. As we go, I'll highlight the differences, but I also want to show you how Dynamics 365 Marketing explodes the range of tools, business insights, and critical analytics for webinar admins. Teams is great for setting up and running a webinar, and D365 Marketing is a huge help, especially with the sales and marketing follow-up after the webinar. Let's say I wanted to set up a Teams webinar to showcase some new features in an upcoming release of Cobalt's software. In the webinar, I will be presenting 75% of the time, but there will also be a couple of other people presenting on the more technical features. Before diving into the nuts and bolts of the webinar setup, let's talk about licenses. It's important to point out that anyone can attend a Teams webinar for free, but setting up a Teams webinar requires one of the following licenses: a small business license, enterprise plans, one of the government GCC licenses, or an education license. I've included a link to Microsoft Teams service descriptions in the video description. Licensing is confusing for many organizations, and it's one of our niche areas of expertise at Cobalt. Just reach out to us or leave a comment in the video if you have any questions about that. Let's move through the actual webinar setup. Here we have our Teams launched. Let's start by navigating to the calendar. On the top right corner, you will see the New Meeting button. Click on the drop-down and select the Webinar option. A new meeting window will appear. Let's go ahead and fill in some of the webinar information. I'll go ahead and add a title for my webinar, the presenters and speakers of the webinar, including myself, the date and time, and some additional details regarding the upcoming release. Here's a great tip. Set the time here 15 minutes earlier than the actual planned time, because this webinar invite will be internal and be sent out only to the presenters and organizers. This allows the presenters to check in prior to the meeting to test and ensure that their equipment are working correctly and avoid any technical difficulties. On the right-hand side, we can see an options button. This allows us to control the finer details for our webinar. Because I want to present these features to external customers and prospects, I will allow everyone to register. I don't want to have to admit everyone that joins, so I will let everyone bypass the lobby. I'll select only me and co-organizers for who can present, and keep mics and cameras off for attendees so we won't have any interruptions. But I will allow meeting chats for questions throughout our webinar. Let's say we want our attendees to register for this webinar and have a registration form to fill out. We can do that by clicking on the View Registration Form link on the top. This launches a new window where we can build out and customize our registration form for our attendees. I'll go ahead and upload an image for the form and fill out the webinar details such as the title, date and time, and details, just like we did on the previous window. Additionally, the presenters and speakers can be added here with their bios, so the attendees can review their experience, accomplishments, and expertise. And finally, there is a questionnaire section which will collect the attendees' information. First name, last name, and an email address are required questions for the registration forms, but let's click on the Add Field button to add more questions. I want to know which state and country my attendees are from, and also some basic information about their careers. So I'll add state, country and region, job title, and organization. These pre-built questions can easily be added, but if those aren't enough, custom questions can be added as well. Here's another tip. Think about those critical fields in your CRM's contact records. What do you really want and need to know about your attendees, sales prospects, and more? Use the questionnaire as a way to collect some of that information, but don't go overboard. It's important to keep your registration streamlined and not too invasive. By clicking on Custom Question, I can select either an input question or a choice question. I'll use input question to collect my attendees' phone numbers and use a choice question to ask if any attendees have joined any of our previous webinars before. Now that our priority questions are added, we can select which questions are required or optional. Once the registration form is complete, select Save and review the form. Finally, if we click the Copy Registration Link option here on the top, we can use that in an email blast, social media post, or direct Teams invites for members to register for the webinar. Let's not forget to send out the presenter invites that was set up on the initial window as well. During or after the webinar, organizers like myself will be able to view the webinar attendance report, which will contain all attendees and the answers to the questions from the registration form. This report can also be downloaded as a CSV file. And that's the fastest way to set up a Teams webinar. Now let's look at how integrating Dynamics 365 Marketing with Teams will take your webinar setups and registrations to the next level. For setting up webinars with D365 Marketing, let's start here in the event planning section of the Marketing app. Click into Events and add New to create your webinar. Let's add all of the required information, just like our Teams webinar setup earlier. Then, we want to look at the right-hand side under Stream this event online and confirm that the toggle is set to yes for the field, do you want to stream this event? If not, the Teams integration will not take place. Once it is toggled to yes, we will see a streaming provider drop-down field where we can select Teams Webinar. Once Teams Webinar is selected and Change Meetings options is toggled to yes, we will have a similar option as the direct Teams webinar setup we saw earlier, including who can bypass the waiting lobby, allow cameras for attendees, chat options, and more. Most importantly, once the streaming provider is set to Teams Webinar, a Teams URL will be generated. This URL can be copied and pasted anywhere, such as emails and social posts. However, when this URL is generated, it also becomes an available option in the Marketing Emails Designer, which unlocks a whole new world of features and functionalities. Let's take a quick look at the Marketing Email Designer. We'll go to Outbound Marketing and click into Marketing Emails under Marketing Execution. From here, we can click into an existing marketing email or create a new one. I went ahead and created an example webinar blast email template for us to take a look at. So here we have the Marketing Email Designer, where users can design and format these emails that can be sent out through customer journeys. Customer journeys are a part of the marketing automation that D365 Marketing uses to build campaigns with targeted audiences in your sales pipeline. Users can insert a wide variety of elements in the designer, such as the usual text box and images, a video, even a QR code. We especially love the video option to tease the webinar. You can see here I've added a 15-second intro that is intended to get people excited about what we are going to show by having a real person hype it up. Before a webinar event, once that Teams URL is generated, we can now insert a button that will allow the email recipients to join the Teams webinar meeting directly. This results in fewer clicks for our intended audience to join the webinar and increases the attendance rate by making it easier to sign up and join. Now that this marketing email is tied to our webinar event, we can use tons of other D365 marketing features to truly control the entire marketing processes from start to finish. We can now incorporate this webinar marketing email with a fully customized customer journey, an automated marketing campaign pipeline consisting of different steps that can send out emails, schedule follow-up activities, trigger workflows, and more. We can send this email out to a specific target audience using segments, which allows us to create specific groups of contacts based on demographic, firmographic, behavioral data, and more. We can also dive deeper into the insights and analytics of the webinar email, such as when the email was delivered, who opened them and when, who checked into the event, and tons more. These are all functions that Microsoft Teams cannot do on its own. If we just use Teams, we can still generate a link to the webinar, but the registration forms and invites can only be sent out manually. This means organizers will have to segment their target audience manually, and there is no additional follow-up activities or useful insights of the webinar attendance that D365 Marketing is built to provide. I hope you've gotten a sense of how much more the Dynamics 365 Marketing integration with Teams will do for your organization. We have come to view this integration as an essential more than just an add-on with the webinars that we host here at Cobalt. If this is what you're looking for and you and your organization are interested in Dynamics 365 Marketing, sign up for a demo call today. And that is how you set up a Teams webinar with and without the powerful Dynamics 365 Marketing integration. I hope you found this video helpful and informative. Don't forget to subscribe to Cobalt's channels for more content like this. And as always, thank you for watching.